Beyond the spark to me means going beyond the shadows of yourself, moving past your comfort zone in the initial reason for your drive. So, not just being inspired by family, home, and the need to be a good role model, but past that, where it's almost dark enough to scare you into settling for mediocre if it means you'll never have to face it. It's where uncertainty lies and vulnerability lives in the shadows, shadows that harbor childhood trauma. And we have the instinctual need to tuck our insecurities safely in the darkest cracks of our minds. The shadows are mysterious, yes, but unpredictable? No. You know exactly what and where they are if you get to know your own landscape. And abundance is just past the confines of your hard cement walls. My job is to give light to those places. How could you fear the power in your own temple? Let me tell you. By letting other people design the interior of your shelter. I'm through with building walls to hide my insecurities out of fear of being hurt by vulnerability. I'm choosing to break the ones I've already built, so here goes. I sat on her porch with a glass of wine, gazing in adoration at the moon full, and still, I kept thinking, what if the moon's energy is like music? Because the clouds around it feel like they're dancing. And I swear I seen a cloud transform into a salsera, and she cha-cha'd for the moon, gliding past in her chancletas made of stardust, in and out of conversation. I enjoyed the show. But the conversation we held was like using a dead battery to jump a car. I didn't have the energy to give or be taken from, but despite my needs, I gave all the patience I had in that moment. Listening to her tell me the one thing she didn't like about me, that also unfortunately comes naturally. So it's me, but it's not me. It's how I was created. So again, I gazed at the moon, full and still, asking the universe to fill me with the energy needed to allow her the opportunity to purge whatever darkness is stored inside her, making her feel inferior. So I put this really big, weird smile on and just kept nodding, probably too much, but she was shedding light in her dark corners, and that is a victory. All she wanted was space to express herself and the courage to stand up to me. And how do you not provide for someone so eager to learn to harness the power themselves? Even if it made me question myself, do I seem unbreakable? Or do we all just assume that I can handle abuse? Maybe I was made to wear the insecurities of others like bruises on my back, and maybe love is actually supposed to feel like that. I don't know. But I left feeling depleted, frustrated like I failed to protect my spirit like I needed, unable to separate her insecurities from my security. Now they are mended as one. My words feel more powerless every day because the void that was hers now sits in my chest, and going beyond the spark of inspiration has never felt more like stress. But the fact is, time waits for no one. And my dreams aren't getting off my pillow if all I do is burn energy I need to rest. I am mother of mothers, healer of women who feel it all and have no time to feel at all. That is when we gaze at the moon together and pull the energy we both need from the ether. Let's make up stories about the clouds that inspire a love for the universe, or cha-cha in our kitchen, wearing our robes and chancletas, dancing for our daughters, because we are designed to defend the most vulnerable parts of ourselves. But my walls were built to protect us all, never to keep you out.
I speak now to my ancestors who know the value of quiet space. Come sit with me, I ask, and hear them shake the gates of heaven and celestial beings and star formations with the thunder of shh. They say to me, listen to what we hear when we are quiet. Through the veils and mists I see Generations of my people settled before me. Immigrants, city dwellers, farmers, soldiers, shipbuilders, artists, factory workers, people built from the sweat of their hands and their hard-won joy in being together. They peer at my bewildered face and say, when you run from the fear and the emptiness and the lack of empathy and the hole in your heart so big it can swallow galaxies because separation is too wide to bear. Screaming down the landslide of grief and mourning, turning the TV, the music, the movie so loud it shakes the foundations of the house to drown out your loss. Fighting with yourself over cow's milk versus oat milk, slamming doors on your way out of nowhere because you think we are nowhere you can see us and you just want to see us. Talk to us. Hold us. Laugh with us. Be sarcastic with us one last time. And another. And another. And another last time. We know, child. So listen to what we hear when we are quiet. The rustle of the wind in your trees is your father's voice, and he's singing, swing down, sweet chariot, gonna let it ride as I go to sweet Beulah land. The stomp and the snort of the horses tells you we are near. We are saying, look at these magnificent creatures and remember, God sowed this field for them. Nature sowed this field for them. They eat, they drink, they let you look at their perfect nature. When you gonna learn to let it go? And don't roll your eyes at us because you think we never stop being bossy. The bird song. Let you fly with us in the darkest depths of space, the lightest blue of sky. We are here, and you are not alone. Listen. Just listen. As I see them in the farmlands of my father's people sowing and breaking beans, in the lowlands of my mother's people letting the ships in the river docks, they are together, whole. My father challenges me, remember, little girl, oh death, where is your sting? I leap and jump and joy flows through my sorrowed veins. I see you, it's okay now. It's okay now. Listen to what we hear when we are quiet, beyond the spark. It's worth the wait because we hear them and we know peace.
An ode to Zora. Take one. I remember you was conflicted, questioning your influence. Most of the time, I do the same. Wonder when my eyes are watching God, what is God saying back to me too? Wonder if I'm a body that is worthy of spunk. Wonder if my mind is a folklore that shines like a southern Sunday porch. And I'm sorry, yo, I'm sorry for this word vomit. I uh, I never get a chance to play chess with someone who's mastered the role of queen like you, and the queen has an ability to move on the chessboard in ways no one's even seen before, and that's not by coincidence. Your use of language is the train tracks built by black hands who move with musicality. Your language is the bayou of blackness that shakes like tambourines in the altar of my voice. Your language is black magic, which is to say you've mastered hoodoo extremely well, because who knew words could move me from this Manhattan apartment in 2020 to Edensville, Florida in 1902. I found your book, Mules and Men, far more grounded than Steinbeck's Of Mice and Men ever could. It's funny how America finds more value in mices over mules and men over the messengers, too busy jumping over the radiant sun to spend time with the simple moon. And I've always wanted to let you know that I'm thankful for you, Queen Zora. Yeah, I know that last line didn't really rhyme like that, but that's a poem that I wrote. And now that I got you here, um, I've actually always had a question about a metaphor that you wrote about zombies. Yeah, I just wanted to know what that means, and where you get the idea, where it came from.
Well, a zombie is supposed to be the living dead,
Okay.
people who die and are resurrected,
Huh.
but without their souls.
Huh.
And they can take orders, and they're supposed to be never to be tired, and to do what the master says without cease and without being tired.
Wow. Okay. I feel like that metaphor has so many meanings right now in life. All right. I know I said I had one more question for you, um, but I got another question. How did you get to the crow? Like, I remember hearing that song that you performed about the crow, and where did that come from?
That has evidently come from Africa. Dr. Herskowitz says that he saw the background of it in West Africa,
Mm.
of the crow. The crow in some ways seems to be sacred in Africa. But what they're talking about is what we know in United States as a buzzard. And the buzzard comes to get something to eat, and they are talking about it, and they dance it. And one person gets in the center and imitates the buzzard.
Uh-huh.
And they say, and the rest of them form the background.
You know what? That metaphor, it feels like there's a lot of things that for me that represents, right? And I know I gave you that short poem earlier, but actually, I think there's another poem that this hearing this made me think of. Um, Hold on one second. Let me get it for you real quick. Um, it's like this. When I tell people I teach art in prisons, a response I often hear is, "Are you ever afraid?" And my response is an overwhelming yes, because who wouldn't be afraid? But fear, it looks different between two people, because I am afraid of people outside the classrooms. I'm afraid of those who push the buttons, afraid of those guarding the doors, or the ones who think my students' lives are just a layup and they finger roll judgment. I'm afraid of people who embody Jim Crow, afraid of the buzzard, right, that watch black and brown bodies from the sky, afraid of the plantation owners, afraid of white men who always quick to smile, afraid of the holding cell that seeps in your pores like embodying fluid, afraid of solitary confinement, afraid of instruments that peels the soul back until it's no longer useful, afraid of closing of the jail doors, afraid of the locks that steal the ability to be free. I'm afraid for the students in here who should be free, afraid of lies, afraid of institutions that make money off the backs of colored folks all the time. I'm afraid, yo, honestly, Zora, I'm afraid of time, of the split minute it takes to make a decision, and the even shorter second it takes to give a judgment. I'm afraid of unhuman customs and traditions, of seeing students' lives become lifeless when they hear their death sentence. And I never knew zombies were real until I found myself teaching in prisons. Yeah, that's that piece. Yeah. Yo, Zora, yo, I really appreciate you taking this time to just talk with me. Um, it's been a lot of things that just been having rattling in my head, but your words, they inspire me a lot. And all right. I know I said I had some poems, and that was the last poem. But if you don't mind, I got this one last song that I really like to share with you. If that's cool. Um, yeah, and you just tell me what you think. All right, this is it. Cool. On the page, it's okay. Leave it on the page. It's okay. Leave it on the page. Look, it's kinda hard to find a spot beyond the dark. I'm counting down to 106, trying to find my park. My part of what I wasn't. To be black in America, to be forgotten, closet, to call it loving. Being born in a land of racists, they talk about that bootstrap will look you in your face and hating like Satan, Goliath to David. Even the church got a war in itself. Can I get an amen or a lady? That's the vibes of my prayers lately. Got questions on speed dial. The godmother God waiting or hesitating. What she's saying is calculated, but I'm stuck with this war of words, no exaggeration, and my page is vacant. Yeah, said my page is vacant. Yeah, I said my page is vacant. Too afraid to actually say it, but in the quiet, I hear this voice constantly saying, be okay. To leave it on the page. It's okay. To leave it on the page. Space to put the stuff on the page for a second, and also know that with your work, it's allowed me to know that it's okay to put stuff on the page and go beyond that spark. So thank you. That's all I got. Hey.
All right, so this is the poem. Time got an Instagram account because it knew how many people would follow it immediately, knew how many people would keep up with every second of it. Time, knew the power of its influence over the people that would be desperate for its attention. Time listens to the bangles when it's creating. Thinks Morris Day is a genius. Time broke up with the Culture Club and Boy George wrote a poem about the journey. Time has this thing where it makes you think you have a lot of it. Let you believe that you are so full with time that you have enough spare time to part with. Let you believe that there's plenty. But then time runs out on you before you've had a chance to spark. My friend Tavis was a ticking time bomb, full of timeless poems that ran out of space to spark, to light up beyond his last day. But the lights he left beyond have been sparking so much love that a fire rages in the hearts of those he sparked courage to chase your dreams before you run out of time. Got an Instagram account, hoping to influence folks into doing something that doesn't waste their time. Knows that we are beautiful sparks that are running out of time. Ticks like two heartbeats synced in perfect time to a loved one. That feeling, that sparking in the chest will last to the end of time. Doesn't know how to stop. Doesn't know how to move back. Can't Marty McFly itself in a DeLorean to get back what was lost. It just remembers. It remembers like texting a friend all day and he never answers because you didn't know their spark. You didn't know that their spark had run out of time.
Daddy said that you cannot waste time. Told me you can get there with drive. Mama said, child, you'll be fine, just long as you hold on. And you hold in and don't forget to aim through the sky. They both reminded me that I would be alright. You gotta repeat it. You will be alright. You gotta repeat it. You will be alright with time. Current affixed, examining optic prism, traveling ideas within dimension of prime, creative wisdom on lock, 369, anything ain't mine, refracted from center enter like feet don't stop, as does hands grabbing favor at every moment, and it's hours later, for infinity and beyond I'll still be here, surpassing slew of objectives like I have to, pick up what I put down like my calling is in queue, still strapped with my junior Olympic track shoes, in case it's time to high jump or hurdle over the internal noise, long jump through the void, sand and sock pissed with the atmospheric pressure, space tsunami crashing, creating symphonic discord before the blast off, even as heart quavers, performance during the uncomfortability like the roof caved, dad a carpenter, mama beautician, means the path's been paid for building, centaur yet chilling with the feeling, honestly blazing puff pink run stuff, no blunts, just organic hemp wraps, let time lapse as I get busy on paper, psyche pumped like Awanis and Seven Sages couldn't even put out my glow, even if I was dunked in pond, I'll still figure out a way to make a move, flow out of cage and response, up at night eyes buck as owl, trying to figure out how's, gurgling words into actions, everlasting as lifesaver, solid in flavor, reminiscent like back in the days when I was afraid of no one, remains that way, on path I'm psycho, not without laughter, I carry hues as Bible when thoughts get twisted, to quote the Black Eyed Peas when I'm lifted, progression and cycle, destiny written, I'm all fact spitting, abstract that is, until my time is exactly up. As I've grown, my mission has been to practice mastering the stabilization of my equilibrium, teetering between galaxies, amazed in headspace, dreams drafted via Venn diagram, attempts to calculate how much force it takes to launch self into the abyss. Aiming at aspirations, endured nights, illustrating the exasperated whys crammed within my cranium, aggregated passions propelling me into inertia. Built as a black hole, billion stars, black as matter, quasar after a spark. Since I was a young person, I've been intrigued with holding heat inside of my hands. Have had thoughts like all I need to be a superhero is a plan and a spark. Tippy-toe height, I'd rise, spotting 4 eyes, red spiral on top of the stove I planned, peering at my target, an eye beaming scarlet without a pan or a pot. My mark in the world, my chance was now I'd rev and pop the eye like the head of a conga, which caused my palms to puss into the patterns of my pretensions. Red-handed I was, heart ambitious as bramble flared in premonition, blazed with fantasy, wondered, once a spark is started, what happens beyond the initial ignition? Buzzing internal discord, home and body handling humidity, treated me as host, kindling engulfed me, yet I remained in silence, focused in a blissful state. My daddy noticed me holding my wrist, freighting a load on my brain. When he spoke, I was able to sense frustration in his body language. My gaze, intact, straight, mesmerized by portals opening paths. Dad asked, what's gotten into you? Force laughed. I responded, the flame. Plain, he told me, baby, the fire you already have.
Yo, Mikey, what's good? What's going on with you? How you feeling?
Well, the son, baby, I'm doing all right. So good to hear from you.
Word. Check it out, yo. I got this Beyond the Spark joint, man, the final joint. So, man, I gotta put a video together for this poem, man. I need your help. You down?
Anything for you, baby. You know, if you ask, I'm on it. Let's get it.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you. I don't know nothing about putting no video together, man. I don't know what to do. We gonna have to throw something together, man.
You are the smartest person I know, so.
Look. If you say so, I'm gonna trust you, cause you know what I'm saying. I have no idea what I'm doing, and this may be a hot mess.
If it's a hot mess, baby, it's gonna be our mess. We gotta do this together. Me and you.
Touche.
See, I was a fiend before I became a teen. Even before I knew holding a mic could feel like bliss. Fell in love with words early. Picked up a crayon. Wrote words on anything I could put my hands on. Found a boom in my voice laid across my mama's lap, feeling hands across my backside for every wall I had no business putting words on. You know, vocals laid across a boom bap track like Discipline was my theme song. When the beat stopped, I knew she still cared even if I did wrong. The discussion, kiss, cheek, and hug after told me there should be love after the misery. Over time, I learned to paint these pictures so vividly you can see what I wrote. Let my voice bring life to each quote. Do it so well it garners applause. There's affirmation in the reverie and I'm stuck by every note. Don't matter how much I'm going through. When the poem rocks and folks gone off the quotes, I feel that appreciation and call it satisfaction. The only thing that matters is the reaction. There should be love for the imagery. If not, then I'm back to the lab without a mic to grab to work through all the lines I have stretched across the page, one after the other one, so I sit and make another sum, blending thoughts together into something worthy to take back to the stage. Even if I got to spark the lie and hope you don't see through the haze, I mean, what really matters is I drop what you want to hear. It's not like you give a damn what I want to say. Ain't that the influence of time? You know ours spent together will be brief, so I spend it worrying about the life behind the pen anyway. I've left sets covered in the residue of realization, and no matter what I try, I can't seem to wash it away. Y'all don't love artists, just the idea of it. You don't love artistry, just the feel of it. You hear people talking but miss the meal of it. So quick to add thoughts, you miss the real nuggets. See growth and success but miss the real of it. Cause the story of struggle is what you still covet. But what would you see if you looked past the spark? Would you see a microphone fiend searching for affirmation in venues across the country because I know that's where I can find a fix? I've learnt the power of hurt. Give me a stage and a mic and a tortured soul and I'll make magic out the mix. But when it's done and you got what you wanted, will you remember the fiend or the trick he turned for another hit? Me beautifully tortured. Seeing the tragic is temporary, but don't recognize it's incendiary. 15 minutes of fame is a short-lived sacrifice, and what is decay but a countdown to being legendary? Dead poets get better promotion, so a healthy and joyous every day isn't necessary. Just give us that spark, poet. Bring that spark, poet. Make it fire. Talk that shit. Get busy with it. Anybody ever wonder if the spark is the flicker of a fuse to a bomb planning to detonate in any minute? When it blows, do you attend to the blood spill or ask questions about the trauma that did it? Would you even care about the body if you were promised that the explosion would provide you insight to all the poetry in it? Would you want to persecute the catalyst or praise the antagonist who lit it? Ain't no liberation here for the afflicted. Just a whole lot of, get free, poet. But that freedom is performative if I ain't letting go of the burdens, I admit it. I take these restraints off because you love to see it, but when I'm done, I put back on this straitjacket and go back to the asylum where I'm admitted. What good is a recovered liberation when you reward the relapse? Praise the fiend for his undoing and celebrate any demolition he's committed, because you know he can make a hell of a goddamn poem with it.